Welcome back to another episode of the Shit Stick of Life podcast. I'm Kortney Wilson. Let's get into it.
Recently, my skin has been so reactive. Hormonal flare-ups, sensitivity, dullness. I've been trying to simplify and find products that not only don't irritate my skin, but also address my concerns. So I found this Canadian brand called Cosmet, and I absolutely love it. Everything is really gentle, clean, which is important to me and my family, and safe for sensitive, hormonal, or easily irritated skin. If you struggle with sensitivity, hormonal breakouts, dullness, or dark circles, these products are definitely for you. Their formulas are non-irritating, but still actually effective. The Bright Embrace Eye Butter is my absolute favorite. It smooths fine lines, brightens the dark circles, which are definitely my problem child, and feels so soothing. The Sweet Plum Oil makes my skin instantly glow and has helped brighten dark spots. Use my code Kortney15 for 15% off. You seriously need to try it if your skin is anything like mine.
When you hear someone say, I panicked in front of 10,000 freaking people and still posted it on Instagram, most people would vanish into the void. But that kind of sums up my guest, Kelsey Darragh. She's showing up, she's telling the truth, she's leaning into the chaos. She's a comedian, filmmaker, author, mental health advocate, and someone who just doesn't sugarcoat any of it. You may know her from BuzzFeed viral videos, her podcast, Adult Shit, or her current podcast, Confidently Insecure. She's written a no bullshit workbook called Don't Fucking Panic. Yes, that's the real title, and we will be discussing it today, about anxiety, depression, panic attacks. She's also working on documentary products, which I absolutely love, about restorative justice, accountability without prisons, and what it means to heal when the system keeps failing you. We're going to see where this conversation takes us. Anything goes with this lady.
Hey.
Kelsey, welcome to the show.
I'm gonna Venmo you $100 because that was the nicest intro anyone's ever. Like, my therapist really needs to step it up. If this is how she could be talking to me, I don't know what the fuck I'm paying for. That was incredible. Truly, thank you for that.
You know, I really appreciate you being here because often I have guests that I know a lot about them, and I have really taken a deep dive in the last couple of weeks into a little bit of your story and what you put out there, because I didn't know a whole lot about you, and I freaking love you, girl. I love you.
Oh, but same. Isn't that so funny how podcasts do that, where you're like, okay, I'm about to spend like an intimate hour with this person. I did the exact same thing with you, and I was like, how do we not know each other? Why aren't we friends? This is our love story. This is our
exactly. We also, if you're watching on the video, we just showed up and we basically are in the same outfit. Same brand. She was like, "Wait, same brand." And she's like, "I actually have that sweatshirt." So, it literally sisters from another mister. Okay, so for people who don't know who you are, take us back a little bit. Where do you come from? Where are you now? Where did you grow up? Just give us your version of you.
Let's see. It all started on a dark and stormy night. No, my name is Kelsey. A lot of people know me from my days at BuzzFeed. I'm a content creator. I have been called sort of like your bigger sister of the internet. I talk about a lot of taboo subjects, sex, relationships, mental health, breakups, the messy parts of life. And I think that probably came from my upbringing. I was born in LA, but I was raised in Florida. You know, my parents were like, let's give up the beautiful beaches and go to the other shitty beaches with a lot more pills and alligators. So I grew up in a really chaotic and violent environment. My parents were fine. It was just the state of Florida that was really impressionable, and you grow up really fast. I did not realize my upbringing was not normal until I left. Just the
when did you leave? And how many do you have siblings?
Yes, I have an older sister, and we are very close. But growing up, we kind of did not have a lot in common. We took very different routes in life. She she was, I don't know how to say this. Like she was the raver girl and I was like the stoner kid. So we had very different,
Two admirable
places.
qualities for your parents.
Like I said, my parents weren't very proud. No, so I left when I was 16. I graduated a little bit early and I got out of there and I tried to go to college. I tried to do the 4-year traditional school thing. And I was like, oh no, I'm queer and I hate structure. So I'm going to move to New York City instead.
Did you know you were queer then?
I knew I was bi. It's funny. When I was writing my second book that's coming out later this year, I had to like go back and visit it. And I was like, I was always the girl at sleepovers that was like, should we practice kissing again? Like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't figured it out yet. We should definitely make sure that we're ready for when boys want to kiss us. So I was like, oh, I can't remember a time where I wasn't bi, if that makes sense.
Kelsey, I literally just told this story. I don't know when the podcast will air. It's with one of my best friends, Kenny, who's gay. And we were talking about my first kiss was with a girl to practice for my boy kiss. But it did not go that well for me. I was like, this is what kissing is? This sucks. And then I was like, imagine if that's what it would have felt like kissing a boy for me. You know what I mean? So like that, it's so funny that you say that. Okay. So you knew something, but that's actually, I feel like really rare at that age to really be able to pinpoint that, because a lot of the people that I've talked to knew something, but they really couldn't identify it until a lot later.
Yeah.
You're younger though.
Yeah. Well, it was also like I didn't have the language or the resources to pinpoint exactly what it was. Like I just knew this feeling that I had, and it wasn't until honestly the internet and people started talking about it that I was like, oh my God, there's a thing. I'm not crazy, and that's been a theme throughout all of my life with most things.
So
me.
Yeah, exactly. So you didn't give yourself the title that you've currently given yourself of bisexual witch back then? I saw the video.
It was always underneath. Waiting, lurking to come out.
So where do you live now?
So I've been in LA for the last 15 years and I do love it. I do. I found my place.
A lot of people from LA have moved to Nashville. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I love the food. It's quite a fun time. It's
totally different environment in the South, but I feel like LA is probably exactly where you need to be. It's a good city.
Well, you have to remember, like, I grew up in Florida. People like to say that's not the South, but we're literally as South as you can get. And
who says that's not the South?
People like to pretend we're this weird, like, broken off New Jersey-esque. Like, I don't know what they think, but I'm like,
you're the South. Yeah.
Come to the swamps. We'll show you. Come to the Baptist church in the swamps. And then I tried to go to school in Alabama for a year. So I that's where I grew up. And like having to go back there all the time, I see the difference. And I have hope.
So what was your entry point into comedy and all the things that you're doing now? Like what was that major shift for you?
I mean, being the youngest child of a family that works 24/7 and isn't around, I was like constantly seeking attention. And the best way I could get that was like being a performer. And so my family knew. They were like, oh God, she has ADHD and she like can't stop singing. Put her in theater camp. And so I think it was always in me. I'm a Leo sun. I can't help it. I don't know what else to do.
What's your number on the Enneagram? Do you know?
I think it's 5.
Okay. I don't know about the 5s.
I don't either, but I think we're stubborn or something.
I'm a number 2 with a heavy 3 wing.
Okay.
And I'm an Aquarian, but
okay.
I have lots of friends who are Leos. Okay, so you decide you're going to move to LA at some point during this time, and you're going to fly by the seat of your pants and walk, your own path, and you feel good about this. You're not. Are you living in fear, or are you like, fuck fear?
I always believed that I was gonna be in the industry somehow. I didn't know maybe where it was gonna land. I had done a bunch of different things. I had like auditioned for SNL back in the day. I had written a bunch of pilots. I had done sketches. I had taken all the classes. I was making videos, but this was before YouTube. So this was like right when YouTube started to pop off, that I thought I was going to go this like traditional entertainment route. And then I was like, wait, what's this video making platform where I can do this all myself and I don't have to rely on anyone or any men to give me permission or I'm going to do that. So then that's kind of how the YouTube journey started.
So you kind of were like the influencer of all influencers during that phase, because you were pretty, I mean, you were on it, on top of it very early.
Yeah, I definitely was online before influencer was a word. And to see what like the creator, like the YouTuber has shifted into has been a very interesting journey. I feel old. I just turned 35 this year and I'm like, oh my God, we really were like the dinosaurs. We were the ones kind of paving the way, like building.
Now, be careful there, friend. I just read that you were born in 1990 and I almost shit my pants. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a 79 girl. I'm 46.
No.
So
Dinosaur
this podcast
of the
might...
internet. Of the internet. You know what you look fabulous. Get out of here. You could leave at 21. I'd be like, yes.
Nothing a little Botox won't help with.
Amen.
Okay,
sir.
so yeah. So so you are in LA, you're doing the YouTube thing. Are you able to make a living at this time? Like you're in your 20s?
Fuck no.
No.
God, no. I am like scraping by to get $200 a month for like basic necessities and needs. Like I definitely had a support from my family, and we had this like funny agreement. My parents grew up in like very, very severe poverty, like one bedroom for 10 children kind of household, like in the middle of Missouri. And my mom, she didn't go to college. She was, she faked it till she maked it. It was hardcore.
Yeah, maked it.
Yeah, I grew up with a mom who worked 7 days a week, 365. She owns her own company. She is like the biggest inspiration. And I remember growing up and like I'd go to my friends' houses and their moms would be home and I'd be like, why is your mom home? Like, why isn't she at work? And they'd be like, no, because you're the weird, like, this is not normal one. And so I always thought that's what it was. You like grind set mindset, work hard, real hard. And my parents always said, like, if you guys go up to college without getting arrested or any DUIs or getting into any trouble, we will help you like start in a career that you are passionate about, And
wow. So I did
have like
this.
Yeah. I had a little bit of help, staying stable to start.
I mean, I also had a little bit of help. I when I moved to Nashville at 19, and I can appreciate that, especially in this day and age, because I have 3 kids, 2 of which are adults. They're 21 and 19, and I fell into a pattern of wanting a more traditional path for them. Even though it was not what I took. I didn't go to college. I struggled. I ate beans and rice for several years. I'm grateful that I did. I'm happy that I don't have any sense of entitlement really because of it. And yet I still wanted a more traditional path for my kids. So I had to like address that in therapy. Like, what is it? Because like I turned out fine. Twitch a little bit, but so
don't we all?
Don't we all? But like, and I did figure it out, and it did allow me to like parent each of them very differently and let them figure out what the hell their lives look like. Like it's their life, it's their path.
100%.
Do you have? Okay, so you have a good relationship with your family.
Yeah.
Do you feel at all like the fact? Do you feel like that your mom and dad did work that hard? Did it want for anything else for you down the road? Like, did you ever go, oh my God, I don't want to do that? Or
no.
What was the really?
Honestly, so like the caveat with them supporting me was, you will be grinding, you will be chasing a dream. Like as soon as we see you slacking, like we can't help you. Like if we see you making progress towards something you want to do, like if you're coming to us with like, you're booking things, you're actively putting on shows, like we're happy to help you eat if we're seeing you chase something. And honestly, I can't say if there was like a different career path I had chosen that would have been that way, but like I never got sick of like the hustle. I was so happy to be doing it. I was so excited to be like, 19 in LA, moved here and was like ready to work. I was so ready to hustle.
I kind of feel like I have to have your parents on this podcast because to me is honestly really rare. It's really rare for parents to basically say, well, I mean, I think it's really funny the way that you put it, like, hey, just don't get a DUI and stay out of jail and we'll keep supporting you. Like that's super minimum. Yeah.
Like I said, where I grew up was not normal. Like that was, I had a lot of friends like deal with addiction, go to rehab in high school. Like that stuff is just so much more available where I grew up. And like it really is like, we see what happened with like the pill culture and everything.
Yes. Yes. Which
it's not normal what we had access to.
When was the shift for you? When did you become more independent financially? At what age and what was that? What did that look like?
Yeah.
Because I think there's going to be people in their 20s that hear this, or moms of 20-year-olds that are going to send this and go like, hey, this inspired me to maybe give you a little rope and to say it's okay to struggle. It's okay to not know. And maybe I'm projecting all of these things onto you, like I maybe was for my kids. So where was that shift?
Well, like my mom didn't go to college. I dropped out of college. So I think that was another thing was like they weren't expecting me to have like a tuition or anything like that. And they were like, all right, well, she's clearly got her mindset on this like LA creator, actor, writer thing. So like if that's going to be her college, we will help her like go to the school of entertainment, if you will. But there was definitely like a cutoff. It was like, you're going to get this much time to make something happen of yourself. And if you don't, like, we can't help you any further. So I had this timeline in my mind of needing to achieve something. And of course, like every Herculean tale, it got the worst it ever got right before everything completely changed for the better. I was, I think, 24. I had been struggling financially, emotionally. I was deep in my alcoholism. I was partying to cover it up as networking or like being in the scene or, comedy scene. I had just gone through a terrible breakup. A kitten I was fostering died. Like, I'm telling you, it was everything. It was just life being like, fuck you and fuck you too. Like, truly, I was suicidal.
Yeah. It was your shit stick of life moment.
It was the worst. And I wrote about this in the book of like, I did not want to die, but I didn't want to be the way I was anymore. Like I was hustling, grinding, trying. And as hard as I was living, I was also partying that hard and my mental health was just tanking. And I was really, truly, I can like put myself right back in that place of being like the worst I'd ever felt in my life. I developed severe agoraphobia and panic attacks and wasn't leaving my house. I couldn't even like walk down to the end of the street. Like everything became overwhelming. And it was
What's agoraphobia?
Oh, so that's like fear to leave your safe space. So I couldn't leave my house without having like a panic attack. And this is coming from like the most outgoing social girly.
Usually is.
Yeah. And so I was having these huge swings. I was, taking a lot of a benzodiazepine called Klonopin, which is kind of like the same family as Xanax, just to be able to like walk to the corner coffee shop to like get my morning coffee. And
can you become addicted to antidepressants?
So this one is, it's kind of like the safety net pill. It's not technically, I'm going to get a little sciencey with you. It's not technically an SSRI or an SNRI. It's a benzo, so it's kind of like the emergency pill for anxiety. A lot of people take it like when they're about to go do something that they know will cause a lot of anxiety. So like a flight or, for some people it's like a social gathering. And I kind of like just threw this last ditch effort out to apply to like my dream job at BuzzFeed. And this was after I had like an agent and a manager. I had been cast on things. Like I was working, but I wasn't succeeding. And I just was like, you know, I'm going to fill out this application. I've made all these videos. I'm just going to like send them these videos I made and like talk about a rope, like the one I wanted to hang myself with, the one I pulled on to get out of the quicksand. And it really was like that turn of someone giving me that opportunity and seeing the thing that I knew I had within myself of like the talent and the drive that I knew I had, but it was being covered by all this shit. It was being covered by all this mess. And that was definitely the shift of like, I had purpose, I had routine, I had support, I had resources, I had that container to put all of this mess into. And at first I tried to assimilate, like just doing everything that everyone else was doing there. And it wasn't until I started making videos about my own identities and my own problems and struggles that I really was like, oh my God, people resonate with this. Like it gave me really, like the purpose was something to do with all that pain.
And I want to even go back to like sort of your rock bottom moment, because isn't it interesting to me that most people, the coolest and most pivotal moments in their life come from just hanging on during that rock bottom section of life or stage. Like it has to be a thing. It has to be like something that life is supposed to teach us. It has to be, because so many stories result in that moment being pivotal. And, you know, some people don't hang on or can't hang on through that.
And I get it. Like, I don't blame the people that check out. Like, I think a lot of people have a negative belief about, you know, people that take their own lives. And
suicide,
I get it. Like, I've been there. I don't blame people. It's when your mind is in that place, like, you don't really have a lot of control over the actions you take. Like, it is not a selfish choice. I think it's like, in a weird way, the most selfless choice, which makes it even more complex. That it's a hard place. It's a hard thing to understand unless you've been there, you know?
I've been there. So I understand it, and I have empathy. And also I don't ever want to see anybody else take that path out, because, you know, I know what's on the other side of it. But, you know, there's no shame. I'm not certainly, you know. So, okay. So you are on BuzzFeed. You are one of the hosts. Were you producing it as well, or?
Yeah, I was making, I started as an intern, literally making, editing, shooting, publishing, being in the videos. Like, you do everything there. You are wearing the showrunner hat.
And how many years did you do that?
I was there full-time 3, and then I went part-time. So I was there like 5 years total making content with them. But it really was like that 2015 to 2018 era that was like the golden years of BuzzFeed and the internet. That was really like that lightning in a bottle secret sauce stuff.
Why did you transition out of it?
I think BuzzFeed had been known for being a company first, and we as the creators of like the talent of the company were starting to, I think, shift that that perspective where people were investing in the creators more than the company. And I don't think the company really appreciated where that movement and like where the creator economy, you know, had not like popped off yet, where it was going. And so a lot of people were leaving. A lot of people were saying like, look, this was an awesome start, but we are not making the money from what we could be making if we were to do this on our own. Like, yes, health insurance is nice, but at some point you kind of have to look around and be like, okay, I think I went from needing them to them needing me, and you have to put yourself first. And they've learned a lot from that. Like, I think there was
I think a lot of companies have, to be honest. Because I mean, even with my life on TV, like, I can't tell you. I mean, a few years ago, I was renegotiating a contract, and they wanted all my social media, and I just flat out said no. And I recognized, and I said, you know, I spent tens of thousands of dollars negotiating this, by the way, because it was so
Of
important to me.
course.
And I essentially said, I'm not going to do it. And I would love to tell you why. So get the right people on the phone. And they did. We had a meeting with lawyers and the head of the network and all the things. And I said, I've been doing this for 10 years and nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. You didn't care about this until now. And I've grown this, but your contract comes with no guarantees. TV doesn't come with a guarantee of another season. People don't realize that. There are options. There are always ways to get out of options. They have to be triggered. And then not only that, I lose control of my brand. So why would I ever do that? But yet, and I think people that are listening need to know, a lot of people do not have control over their brand. And so I respect you for, going down the path and honestly leading the way for a lot of other people like me. So, okay, so you left and was that a moment where would you look back on this in your life, in the grand scheme of your life and go, leaving led to other things I was supposed to be doing?
100%. I fought leaving for so long, it was a negotiation back and forth, trying to figure out, why did they not understand my value? Why did they not understand that I'm not replaceable? That's the whole thing about the entertainment business is you're replaceable. There's a new creator every day. The attention spans are getting smaller. That's just a fact, is that someone will get sick of watching you and following you, and everyone has a shelf life is what they want you to believe. And I just didn't believe that. I was like, fuck you guys. So I really fought, and I felt like I was in a relationship with a lover that didn't see the bigger picture. And so breaking up with BuzzFeed it felt like a breakup. I had to be I have to believe in myself enough to do this and take a chance on all the things I wanted to do. And of course, like we said, as soon as you leave and you believe in yourself and invest in yourself, and that's not to say it wasn't hard. I didn't immediately, financially bounce back. I still have ups and downs. I'm still a creator that lives deal to deal. I haven't gone back to a 9 to 5 and it's been 6 years now. And I've learned how to live with that chaos. I don't know that it's for everybody to be.
It's 100% not for everybody. The other day I posted about liking videos. Just when you, I watch videos all the time and I go down this this tunnel at night of emotion watching them. And I'm always liking and commenting. And I do that because it's the small act of appreciation that then leads to brand deals to help pay for the influencers' cost of living so that they can produce the type of thing that you like.
That they want.
So, that they
100%.
want. So people listening, y'all, it's free content for y'all. It literally is free content. All you have to do is subscribe, enjoy, comment, show your appreciation, show your damn appreciation.
Yeah.
And then when there's
that's but it's I don't know if you've seen this, but I think once the general public and followers started to see this is how I'm able to support a creator, the top comments I'll get on a brand post is get your coin, girl. I'm gonna subscribe to this thing, or I'm gonna buy this product because I think oh my God, they understand the assignment that I have to do in order to be able to do these other things that they enjoy. And I wish brands understood that.
I wish brands understood that as well. But yes, because we could be way more authentic in our pitches for those things. But you know what? That's their brand, and we get to choose. Okay, so I want to get into your book and how that came to be. Don't fucking panic. Now, this is what I read. I read that it was. Well, you can obviously tell me, but it came out of some of the things that you don't learn in therapy or don't come out of therapy or should be addressed in therapy. Is that true?
100%. You're not going to be in a therapy session talking about panic attacks and your therapist isn't going to say, well, do you sometimes all of a sudden have to shit your pants when you have a panic attack? Here's why. Here's why you might have severe diarrhea during a panic. No one warned me that was a side effect of a severe adrenaline rush. No one told me that masturbation can be a great way to like release anxiety and build endorphins and dopamine. Like there were so many things that I felt like we were avoiding talking about in the world, like messy stuff too, even like depression.
Well, that is the messy stuff.
I mean, yes, literally. Like there were so many things that I just felt like, okay, I've been going through this for 10 years now, even longer. Here's what I've learned. Here's the guidebook I wish I had had when I first started out in my journey of mental health and like the darkest parts. Here's like the remedy to sort of like the secrets of having to live with this stuff.
Okay, so I want to get specific. What year is this and where are you in your career? And does it have anything to do with that or is it just life in general?
God. So I'd always wanted to write a book about this stuff because I was plagued with panic attacks. And it was the thing I hated the most. Like we talk about like wanting an exit plan. Like that was the thing that when I was having a panic attack, those were the scariest, darkest moments of my life. And so if you would have told me 10 years ago that I wouldn't have those anymore, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have thought that's only something that would come from a genie giving me 3 wishes, and all 3 of them would be to not have panic attacks anymore. Like it is the worst, wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so to have gotten to a place in my life where I didn't feel plagued with that anymore, where it didn't feel like this giant scarlet letter I was carrying around, I was like, bitches gotta hear about this. Like there is life on the other side. Like you can
panic attack.
recover. Yeah, like you can live a successful and happy life and like manage them and become
Okay, but what
friends
did you
with it.
do to overcome the panic attacks to get you to that part?
So glad you asked. Obviously, there's a ton in the book that you can read more, but it was by going through the absolute worst versions of panic attack and panic disorder, giving up and saying, I'm willing to kind of try anything at this point. I'll fucking stand on my head and sing the ABCs backwards if you told me that got rid of a panic attack. So the best treatment that I talk about and the thing that has helped me the most, and there's been a ton of things I've done, but I had to learn how to widen my window of tolerance and not fear the panic anymore. So when a panic attack comes on, and anyone who's struggled with panic disorder, the fear of having a panic attack can almost propel you into a panic
attack. Okay, so I have had 3 in my lifetime. Scary as hell. The first time I thought I was actually having a heart attack. But I know what you're talking about. They were not chronic. They were always brought on by something, which I have never gone. Something in life. And 2 of those times I don't know that I wanted to live through it. Like I was like, I don't know that I can do this. Like I think it would be better. So for me to never experience this again. So keep going, girl. Keep preaching.
Yeah. And that is a very common feeling. Like there's a fight, flies, freeze, fawn response we all have. And like mine was the same thing. Mine was flight. I was like, how do I get away from this? How do I get as far away from this as possible? Rather than leaning
into it. Yeah.
My body's trying to tell me something right now. I might not understand it. It's speaking a different language, but how can I understand? How can I become friends with this thing and hear it and go, what are you trying to tell me right now? Because a lot of people say the same thing. I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought it came out of nowhere. Like it just suddenly my heart was racing. I couldn't think. I couldn't speak. I was sweating. I disassociated from my body. And it's like, okay, yes. And what's underneath that? We can always find a trigger. We can always find a reason our bodies are reacting this way. It's kind of like a toddler. Like a newborn baby can't tell you what's wrong. It's just going to cry. That's your body. Your body is sobbing like, I need to be fed, or I'm hungry, or I feel scared, or I don't feel safe. And like, it doesn't know how to tell you that. So understand.
So is it a mind over matter thing? Like you're about to have a panic attack and you just, I don't want to say like,
I wish I could outthink.
Yeah, I know. But like in the moment of the panic attack, what are you doing? Are you to lean into it? Are you actually talking to yourself and saying, this is okay? This is okay. my body's trying to tell, like, are you verbalizing it? Are you feeling it?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So it's equal parts mind over matter and body over brain is what I like to think of it as. So yes, the first step is leaning in, is the awareness, is to say, I see you. I hear you. I might not be able to understand you, but I'm hearing you. I'm here with you. What are you trying to tell me? Is it that you don't feel safe? Is it that you're angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? Are you hungry? What are you trying to tell me? I'm here. I'm going to listen. And sometimes that means I have to excuse myself from where I am. I'll start to feel one coming on and I'll be like, I need 5 BRB. So even just like being comfortable with asking to take up space somewhere and like pause, take that pause was like step 1. There's all these like steps, and that's like the pre-step. That's the prep step, is get to a place where I can tune in and listen to my body. The next thing is the breathing, right? So when people are panicking, we tend to hyperventilate, and that's actually going to make us feel more short of breath. We are actually over-oxygenating ourselves. We are creating too much CO2. We need to actually slow the So that goes into the breathing exercises. Yes. So we can do box breathing, we can do tap breathing, we can do EFT tapping, things that can slow down and focus in on paying attention to the breath. The next thing is the body part, right? Like, because if we could outthink panic attacks, I would just stay where I am and I would just think it and have the monologue internally and go, shut up, stop it, shut the fuck, stop panicking, you fucking just chill.
Yeah.
But the body needs to release, right? So I'm a big fan of doing the shake. Like if you ever see an animal who is about to attack or be attacked, they freeze, right? They scrunch up, their hair gets stand up on the back of their neck. And then once they realize they're not in danger anymore, what's the first thing they do?
Shake it out. Yeah.
They give you a big shake. And our bodies are the same thing. So I like to do a big shake. I like to sigh. I like to go, ah. I like to relax my jaw. I like to go, do I need to stand? Do I need to lie down? Do I need to take a walk? Do I need to stand on my vibration plate? Like, what do I need from my body? So there's the mind aspect and then there's the body aspect. Once you get into that, like coming back down, I'm becoming friends with this thing. I'm not going to fear it. I like to repeat mantras. This too shall pass. You've been here before. You'll be here again. Prepping yourself instead of fearing it, becoming friends with it instead of it being your foe. And then the after effects, right? So coming out of it, it's kind of like a lot of people just want to go, well, that was fucking weird. Anyway, back to life, right?
Yeah.
But I have found that.
Well, but let's pause for a second, because I'm sure that's what you were doing because you're performative.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. So a lot of, you're masking. And a lot, I think that a lot of performers, like naturally born performers, they learn to just act through it.
Yeah.
And
regular
pretend.
people.
Like regular people
are like,
for
God
sure.
forbid you have a need, or God forbid you have a struggle. Or like need help. And so the best thing that I learned, because of course, a panic attack never happens when it's convenient. You're always like with people or out in public or something, or have something big coming up. The best thing I learned is also to just name it as it is, to just talk about it, to just vocalize it, to tell people in the room, hey, sorry, I'm feeling a little nervous, or hey, sorry, I was just having a panicky moment, or I just need a little extra time, or I just need a little extra breath, or could we reschedule this, or hey, like vocalizing it and bringing your community in with you.
This is fantastic because as it relates to what we were just talking about, people are leaning in to influencers who are being honest and transparent about the uglier side of life, right? The things that are real, that many of these things happen to everybody, every human being. And yet when you're not an influencer, you're just, everyday Joe listening here that's going to their 9-to-5 job, who's not a performer. What you're asking them to do is essentially the same thing. It's to own it, to release the shame for yourself. If somebody's going to shame you for it, let them go. You don't need to hang out with them. You don't need to be, yeah. So, but by actually verbalizing it, whether it's on your Facebook page or you're in the meeting or coming back, like you just said, that it is a healing thing in itself.
Yeah, it's integration. Like, I think we are like, okay, I figured it out. I beat it. I've successfully gotten out of this thing. Now I'm just going to pretend like everything is back to normal. And it's like, oh, we weren't going to pretend you just shit yourself. Like we're just going to pretend like you didn't almost have a freaking heart attack. Like you didn't just take yourself to the ER because you were like having okay, we're just going to pretend like that didn't happen. And so, And it doesn't need to be a big display. It doesn't need to be a bit like I use humor, right? So I'm really able to come back in and make light of it and find a way to integrate it. But like if we're not integrating these experiences into our lives, into our community, into our loved ones, into our circle, our body is still going to keep sending us signals of like, why are we ashamed of this? Why do we feel bad about this? Why don't we like this? Why do we fear it? It's our foe. It's not our friend. I'm going to keep it. Like if we don't integrate these parts of ourselves the same way, like we try to hide and shame ourselves for the other shadowy parts of ourselves, it's going to keep coming back. It's going to keep trying to make itself known. So for me, it was really just like, I need to own this. I need to experience it, communicate it to the people I love, to the people closest to me, to my therapist, and then eventually became to the world, to the broader audience. And I can tell you 10 out of 10 times it has been better that I have said something than kept it in. I have never been looked at weird. I've never been yelled at because of it. I've never been punished for it. If anything, I've had people either go, oh my God, same. I've been through that exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what works for me. I know what you're going through. Or if they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, they're not like, you're fucking weird. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. It's, I don't get it, but like, I love you as a person, or I like you as a person. And hey, you don't have to get every single thing about me, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends, business partners, work relationships, siblings, date. Like, there's no reason why someone would get rid of me because of this thing. And so 10 out of 10 times, it has always been a better idea to talk about it.
I agree that with most hard things that we discuss, it's a 10 out of 10 positive thing. And maybe for social media people, you get the occasional person that is like, but we don't need to focus on them. Okay, so do you actually have like a workbook situation in the book? Because now I want the book. So for people, and then I'm going to post about it, because I think, the workbook part of this is actually, I think, really smart if that's the case. Like you have to actually identify things for yourself, like you write in the book.
Yeah, so it's not just like journal prompts, because as much as I love journaling, sometimes I'm just like not in the freaking mood. So we have fun stuff in there too, right? Like we have a connect the numbers that ends up being like Ryan Gosling holding a soft bunny. And it's like, that's just a nice image that makes you feel better. Like sometimes when you're depressed or panicking or anxious, you just want a distraction. You just want something to do with your hands.
Yeah, it's like coloring.
Crossword puzzle. Yeah, exactly. We have a coloring page. We have a crossword puzzles page. Like there are tons of activities. There's charts, there's graphs, there's things that aren't just deep dive into yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. So it doesn't have to be chronological. Like it doesn't have to be in chronological order. You can basically like, you're feeling this. Maybe this is the thing that you go to in that moment to remind yourself
100%.
Of like, okay, this is normal. Thousands of other people have this book. So that means I'm normal. We're all doing this together. Oh my God, I love
And it's really meant to be like you can flip it open to any page and try something. Because I've definitely been in situations where I've been like, okay, what am I supposed to do? The things that I know aren't working today. So like, what else do we have in here? And so I really wanted it to be a book that you could open at any page and find some kind of relief or method or tool. It's so funny. My co-star notification just popped up on my computer, and today's quote is, accept the dark corners of your brain.
Oh, wow. This is perfect. This is happening at the perfect time because we're talking about it.
And I think
today. Or somebody's listening to you, one or the other. Okay, so
the FBI agent knows too much. We're too close.
Okay, so the book, do you have another? Are you going to write another one? Like, is it a sequel or?
I just finished it. Literally, like, have it on my screen behind you. The cover. We just like did all the designs and everything. This one, I haven't actually said the title yet, so I'm going to give it to you because you're on like a whole new side of the internet that I'm like, let's give you guys a little treat.
Oh,
okay,
I love
it's
this.
called "Don't Do What I Did: A Guide to Surviving Your Breakup." And it is all about the science of breakups and why we want to kill ourselves after a breakup.
Don't do what I did.
Did. Don't do what I did.
Oh my God.
Just like, panic.
Fast track that copy to me now. Okay?
Because 100%. I feel you.
That, you know what? Brilliant. And you are for sure putting yourself out there in a way. And I think it's actually cool because you're not really old. You're in your 30s. And a lot of times it takes another 10, 20 years to figure this shit out. You know, you're supposed to like have fun in your 30s and in your 40s are to figure it all out. But you're like truly, I think, packed in. Well, your 20s are for having fun. Your 30s are for making, or no, maybe it is your 30s for figuring it out. 40s for making money. Somebody told me that once and never forgot it. But
that one.
yeah, but I think that there are so many people that leave their 20s. I was actually listening to a Mel Robbins podcast about people in their 20s, you know. She's such a queen and even talking about her own kids and their struggles and how being in your 20s can actually really suck because you feel like there's this insane pressure on you to all of a sudden you're out in the world, you're supposed to know what you're doing and you're an adult and everybody's looking at you and like, hey, what are you up to? What job did you do? What did you choose for your life? Almost like the B movie, you know? And then, you know, you get out there and you're like, yeah, you're flailing, you know, you're just flailing and you're like, what the fuck? Something's wrong with me. And I don't know anybody in their 20s. I personally don't know people in their 20s that didn't have the same experience that I did, where they were flailing. And if there are a handful of people, it caught up with them later because the thing that they were ignoring in their 20s shows up later in their 40s. So we all have to address it at some freaking point in our lives.
You're supposed to be messy. Like you're supposed to absolutely fuck up and fail in your 20s when what we think in our 20s is we're supposed to be figuring it out. It's like, we're supposed to pretend to be adults, have it all figured out, have the job, have the career. Like, no, bitch. Your frontal lobe is still developing. Like,
that's right.
Haven't figured out yet.
Funny you said Life is Messy because that's actually the name of my new show coming out in early next year. It's literally called Life is Messy. It's a home reno show.
I love
It's called
that.
Life is Messy. And it's because I'm not I was like, I don't want to do another home reno show where we need a couple $100,000 and we're taking down all the walls and everything's perfect in the end. I want this to be relatable. I want to get into the letting go part of the shit in our house that makes us, you know, that we are going there from an emotional standpoint. And it's really hard to get networks to do that because they're pay off on a show where they don't want that. And honestly, sometimes there's formulas and companies don't want that. Advertisers don't want to lean into those shows. They want the bigger payoffs. And so it was a really big deal to get the show made. But anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you.
Amazing.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
So let me be a podcast host for a minute. When's the show come out? How can we watch it?
It's coming out early 2026 on Home Network in Canada and the US network. I can't announce yet, but
exciting
stuff. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so you've shared that you're sober now. You actually referenced it earlier. How long have you been sober? And did you consider yourself an alcoholic or did you just get sober? Because I think those
what a journey.
Really?
I'm Irish. I am a drinker. Like, we love to drink. I'm very good at it. I was a wide awake blackout drunk. No one ever knew I was wasted. I was the most successful when I was wasted. I made the most money when I was drunk. I truly was like, from the outside looking in, I was the peak. I peaked when I was at my highest drinking. Internally, suffering suicidal anxiety, panic attacks, the worst I'd ever felt. But no one saw that. Everyone saw, you know, this was also the era of like the messy, like Amy Wine or like Amy Schumer, Chelsea Handler, like kind of crazy
train wreck. Like,
yes, train wreck era. And so I became the girl on the internet who was really good at drinking. Like, my videos always involved booze. Everyone always thought I was drunk in every video. Like, it was fun. I was your alter ego. And I showed up for work on Monday morning, early before everyone else, with high heels and makeup on. I looked great. Like, you would never, ever, ever know I was suffering. And I was very anti the word alcoholic because I tried to go to a couple AA meetings and I didn't like the idea of being one drink away from ruining my life. Like, that's what they teach you, is like you're one drink away from losing everything. And for some people, they need to believe that in order to stay sober. And that is true for them. They're one drink away from losing everything. I didn't feel that way. I was like, I can quit for 30 days. I can quit for 60 days. I can quit for 90 days. I'm actually fine. But book that changed my life was a book called Quit Like a Woman by Holly Whitaker. I recommend it to everybody if you've never heard of it.
And Quit Like a Woman.
Quit Like a Woman, and it helped me see that I was subscribing to a business as a personality. Like I was helping alcohol companies get richer as it helped me feel shittier. And this was also like the era of like the wine mom and like, you know, it's okay to have a cocktail every night. Like I was so
Oh, I mean, hell,
subscribed to this.
Old Navy was selling shirts and sweatshirts that was like, you know,
What are
wine.
we doing?
Yeah. Exactly. I was
And
like,
when,
it was
when you
everywhere.
scale back, all it was like women wanting independence. Like we just wanted to be
Yeah,
confident.
that's right.
And we were using like booze as that way to say like, I'm a boss because I have booze. When we scale back and look at it, we are literally putting ethanol in our bodies. Like we are poisoning ourselves with a chemical and being like, why do I feel depressed on Sunday night? Like have the Sunday scaries. And I'm like, girl, holy shit, your panic attacks, your anxiety, your depression was all linking back to your relationship with alcohol. And so when I had my like rock bottom with booze, it was a very soft bottom, as people call it. Like I didn't lose my house, my family, get into a car accident, go to jail. Like I didn't hurt anyone. But I had a partner at the time, my ex, who he saw the way I was drinking. And the last weekend I ever drank was at Pride in LA, which is like, you know, the weekend. And I had also just had knee surgery. So I was on painkillers. I was drinking. I was like a disgusting mess. I went and did a huge job on a huge podcast that it never saw the light of day. Thank God the producers were like, we'll pull this for you.
We can't do
like,
this. Yeah.
You have a problem. But I was perfect on the episode. Like they had no idea. I was wide awake, blacked out, drunk. And I came home from that episode and my partner at the time said, I don't think anything is going to make you stop drinking. And I don't think I could be with someone who doesn't give a shit about themselves. Like you care about so many causes and people and helping women feel confident, but like you're killing yourself doing this. Like I am watching you actively not give a fuck about your own health.
Oh my goodness, this is a little triggering for me because I was married to that person. I was married to you, basically.
On behalf of that person,
Yeah.
we didn't have the capacity to care.
Yeah,
right?
it was really hard. It's like I can still feel it now. I've never had that moment with him. It's my ex-husband, but I've never had that moment, or not that I'm looking for an apology, but that sort of like come to Jesus moment where he's acknowledged anything. But I felt like he was dying before my eyes, and I actually had to give a bit of an ultimatum and say like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. Because I also was performative. So I was in the place to cover it all up as well. You know, for our kids, for the family, for me, for the brands, for the TV, like everything. So
truly, like no one will understand how strong that like what that took out of you. No one will get that unless they've been that person, because
no, and I'm forever changed because of it. And when people say you're stronger, I'm like, not really. I'm not stronger. Like I don't love that sentiment because I'm not. I am clearly emotional just talking about it. It's still a pain underneath that I can't seem to fully heal. You know, I've moved on, of course, but like I love that you were able to acknowledge that for yourself. And did it happen in this moment with your partner?
Wow.
What did it happen like for you?
I just want to acknowledge that like that was very like, thank you for sharing that with me. That is not like an easy thing to say, and like your vulnerability and strength, like it touches me, and I know is going to be so important for other people to hear, because like something was taken from you. Like that's not fair. And like the difference is like the people that take that from you and can give that apology and show up for themselves. Like they can't show up for other people unless they can first admit it and show up
for themselves. Yeah.
And
you showed up for yourself.
Yeah. And like I just want to say to you too that like the hardest thing I ever had to do in life with another situation that is similar to yours, not this exactly same with alcohol, but something else, like I had to accept the apology I was never going to get. And I realized that the apology I was actually looking for was to the younger version of myself that didn't know what else to do. Like,
oh my gosh.
I actually just needed to hear it and be like, you know what? I'm sorry that you felt so hurt and like you didn't know what else to do. And
Yeah.
like
And I
myself that apology.
didn't even know my codependency in it as well. Like I mean, I was codependent. I became codependent on the relationship for a different reason. That was my addiction. You know, my addiction was trying to, well, anyway, another podcast, because Lord knows
No,
that's like
for
a full
sure.
episode. But like, so when I hear of somebody who did hit that, let's call it traditional rock bottom moment, or untraditional in your case, maybe, but, and came out of it and got the help that they needed, made something out of it. Like, I feel very proud of you. I think everybody around you in your life wanted that for you before you wanted it for yourself. And so the fact that you were able to grow through that and get to the other side, like bravo.
I appreciate you. Your energy,
Yeah.
like your aura is just so beautiful. Like you're just such a wonderful spirit. Even just I can see like you're even saying you're proud of me in this moment when I'm like, bitch, I want to hug you. Shut up. I'm proud of you. Like, shut up. Like, I think it's very beautiful what you're even just saying and doing, and the things like the energy you're giving me. Like, I want to give that back to you as well. Like, it's a very powerful thing. Like, you even just voicing all of this stuff. Just bringing any of this up is very powerful.
Yeah. Well, that's what this is about. I mean, like what's the point of life if we can't, take our experiences, good, bad, ugly, ups, downs, ins, outs, and share them with the people coming up behind us, or who are ahead of us, who are maybe just, crawling to the finish line here. Okay, so you have this moment, and all of these amazing things have come out of it, and we're, oh my goodness, we've already talked about so much stuff, but I was really intrigued by some of the documentary work that you've done. I actually tried to find one of them the other day and I couldn't. What is it called?
Probably because none are out yet.
That's why.
That's why. But one will be out very soon before the end of the year. The restorative justice one that you were talking about.
That's the one that I was trying to find.
Yeah. Well, we made a short version of that we just partnered with Patreon, funnily enough. That's who we are finishing the project with. So we made a 50-minute version, and now we've got like the full feature length coming out later this year. So it's been...
What's it about?
I think you can see my entire wall is covered in sticky notes right now because
It's like your vision board.
Yes, it's our storyboard for our documentary that is all about restorative justice. So just like the log line is about the first case in history where a woman sentenced her assailant, her sexual assaulter, to therapy instead of prison time legally through the courts. And part of her sentencing
actually
was
happened?
that she wanted to... Yes. And part of her sentencing was after he completed the therapy program, they would meet together in what's called a restorative justice circle so she could confront him and ultimately, spoiler alert, heal from it. And I had the woman on my podcast and she told me the story. And when I first heard of it, I was like, this is a terrible idea. This is anti-feminist. Why would we allow like rapists to walk free? This is like not a good idea. And then after talking to her for an hour, I was like, everyone needs to hear about this. This needs to be an option for everyone. It is... The whole point of it is that it takes the justice system, turns it on its head, and asks, what does the survivor actually want? What does the survivor actually need? Because our punitive system is all about punishment. It's about actually don't talk to each other, actually deny, get your story straight, make sure you're not admitting anything, don't look guilty, like defend. And it's become a game of like defense lawyers playing a win-loss game with a survivor. And instead, restorative justice flips that on its head and says, what if we ask the survivor what they actually want to do and then go from there? And so that idea just like blew my mind because it also forced me to take a look at like, what do I believe justice really looks like when I am, with a pitchfork in cancel culture and saying like, we want to see rapists in jail, and like the Me Too movement has said like accountability, but like, can anyone take accountability if they're defending themselves in a court of law, pretending like they didn't even do anything in the first place? So
Holy shit. This is
Yeah, it
powerful. And also, I
Yeah.
love, I've done a lot of research over the years. My, my daughter's Black, actually. I have 2 biological children,
Yeah,
one that's
yeah.
adopted. And so I have done a lot of research in raising her about systemic racism,
Yep.
and leaning into lots of stories in her lineage about, people, especially Black men who have gone to jail for a lot longer than Black or white men for lesser crimes, yada, yada, yada. I'm probably not saying anything that you don't know, but unfortunately, most people don't understand this.
Yeah.
And how many, especially teenage Black boys end up in prison for the rest of their lives with no opportunity at all
Exactly.
for restoration in any kind of way.
Yeah.
So the idea that this is leaning into the potentially restorative process dependent upon the victim
Mhm.
who essentially becomes empowered,
Mhm.
I think, through this, right? This
Yep.
process, they are empowered to be a part of it, and potentially, I know that this feels like for some people that, if in the traditional sense, they'll feel like, well, that's terrible to put them in that position. I'm sure they don't have to be put in that position,
Correct. Yep.
right?
Yep.
When is this coming out? Where is this coming out? Where can we watch it?
Oh my gosh. So it will definitely be available. We're going to have like an online premiere first. So anyone from all over the world can watch it. And it will be in December, probably. I'm going to tentatively tell you December 17th as our premiere date on Patreon's streaming platform. So that will be like stop number 1. And then hopefully top of next year, I'll be able to announce where it will be to view worldwide.
It better be a big one. I'm not telling you. I'm expecting a big
manifest that for me, girl.
Streaming service. Hello, Netflix. Hello, these people all.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is the shit we all want to see. Friend, I got a gazillion more questions for you and not enough time. I'm in love with you.
Same.
I think you're just a beautiful person.
Same.
And I want to do this again at some point. Maybe
Please
after
come
the documentary
on my
in the new
podcast.
year. I would love that. We'll talk more about this.
Yes.
But thank you. I even had like all these funny rapid fire questions, and I just feel it's inappropriate. I just think that we have just covered.
We're professional gabbers.
We are professional.
That's what we do.
Kelsey, thank you so much.
Awesome.
I adore you, and I'm really, really grateful that you got into it with me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been awesome.
Thanks, friend. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Shit Stick of Life podcast. Please remember to like or subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Much appreciated. See you next time.